Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Lam, Levin Human Resources CEO. I'm I'm very delighted to have a chance to talk to you, introduce you about our company, as well as a very specific topics in Hong Kong. Currently, we are actively accelerating the development of this industry, and it is named Family Office. Turn back to our office, our company, Levin Human Resources Company was established in 1987. So from then to now, it's already 40 years as of operation, and we specialize in recruitment. Recruitment is the general terms, of course, helping employer to look for employee and helping employees to seek for ideal jobs. However, the level of operation has been changing from time to time in the past 20 and 30 years. The reason is that because of the economic structural development as well as the technological development, which we witness is to be in a very rapid pace in the past few years. From the last in the last 30 years, we counted by 10 years, by 10 years, by decades. In the first 10 years, around 1919 to 2000, we worked as a kind of recruitment agency. Recruitment agency was some organization helping people look for jobs and specializing in all level of jobs and some very basic positions like at that time they were called secretary, messengers, or even some programmers, very fundamental, very basic position that we worked for hiring of this position for the employees. And after 10 years, especially after the financial tsunami happened in 2008, 2009, with the collapse of Lehman Brothers Investment Bank in Wall Street, there was a very significant changes in the requirement of the positions for a company. And at that time, since around the time 2000, 2010 to 2020, this 10 years, there were huge demand of executive position working in China, Hong Kong, and they all the time they were basically in a middle management position, middle management. And so at that time, our company followed the trend and moved on to search position, which mean it is a middle level, supervisory, managerial, and senior technological position, etc. And after 2000 to 2020, uh, with the happening of COVID, which was famous in several years before, and also with the coming out of the AI, the OpenAI, OpenChat, and after that we have Gemini, we have Anthropics, and now we have DeepSeek, we have Kimi, etc., which is large model. The AI, artificial intelligence competency has affected the job market so much so that we are witnessing the lessening of a middle level position, to tell the truth. Middle level position, now they are gradually performed by the large model as well as the AI agent. And later on, there might be some figures coming out, which call it the embedded AI, which are robotic in sense. So now in this year on, in these few years, uh, not only our company, I mean our fellow company in this industry, that also move into a high level, which we now call it the headhunting level. The headhunting level. Headhunting level means now the position requirement has changed. They change from, of course, low more fundamental, low more clerical position, even programming position, all this. They're getting less and less, and they will be fading out in the coming times. And then for middle level, which require some kind of analytical skills, presentation skills, data collection, and also basic communications, etc. They will be, they will be, they will be probably very high probability. They will be replaced by AI device. So now a company they're now looking for more senior position. They're senior not in a way of the number of years that you work for, but in the level of intellectual competency, which carry four basic, we call just like some kind of theory, we call four basic C. Is the critical power, is the creative power, and it's the communicative power, and also collaborative powers. These four powers, they will be empowered by the people, inner people, who are in a higher level and with stronger sense of enhancement. So this position, just like, for example, just like the CIO, CFO, CEO, which we will introduce it more when we move on to a family office recruitment area. At this level, we call it the headhunting level. They're in management position, therefore decision making, therefore making judgment, they're making forecasting, etc., etc., making collaboration, etc. So this position will be senior, and they will be in the headhunting level. So our company, like other company as well, all move into this level, and we have become a headhunting company in Hong Kong and the region as well. So we want to move to another angle to see why Hong Kong is has advantages in attracting all this headhunting, all these headhunted executive. Firstly, is the cultural cultural way because Hong Kong is we should say Hong Kong is a multinational city. In action, due to history, due to our education, due to our geographical position, we are in the middle of the different culture, particularly East and West, Chinese, English, and other languages, Japanese, Korean, whatever. So, firstly, this is the advantage of Hong Kong, fundamental one. Second is the cost of Hong Kong. Cost of Hong Kong is relatively smaller than the other places. We talk about not only talk about the living cost, but we are in the low tax region. The tax is very low here, and we have a very, very high degree of convenience in both communication, in both information collection, etc. So Hong Kong, the cost itself, the running cost itself, is not high as usual as well. So relatively speaking, the reward will be higher in that way. Third, in the lifestyle and safety, Hong Kong, of course, is the safest city in Asia and also in world standard. And our lifestyle is diversified, suitable for different people, different culture. It is also advantages for people working in Hong Kong. Now, so with all these favorable factors in mind, so in Hong Kong, we have the advantage to develop various kinds of industry in Hong Kong successfully. And in the past, what we mean in the past, let us make a demarcation of time before 2020, before 2020, because at that time we have a low significant, low inferential large language model happening. So at that time, Hong Kong have we have four successful, we should say successful business. Firstly, it's still now on, is the banking and finance industry. Very successful in the past. We are the financial center in Asia as well as the world. And also we have property market, property market very heated. And also we have entertainment, just like travel, just like a picnic, whatever. Fourthly is the logistic industry. Logistic industry very active between China and the entire part of the world. And finally, we have professional services, professional services in Hong Kong, right? So at that time, before the coming in of the large model impact on the industry and also the production structure, etc. At that time, Hong Kong rely on these five strongholds in providing employment opportunities, enhancing the GDP, and also making economic prosperity and stability. All right, now we are moving, we are changing. As also mentioned by government from time to time, we have to develop new industries. We are not going to give up the old industry, of course, but in front of the new scenario, we need to take the opportunities as well as the challenges in changing our production pattern so that our economic prosperity can be further maintained, even in times. Banking and finance, of course, is the core, and it will last now until then. And so we have developed so well, and so we should continue as a financial center. There's no debate on that. And we are now taking out two very important and newly created, we should say, industry in Hong Kong. First is the higher education. As from time to time, you notice that international ranking in the university, Hong Kong has such a small place, a city, and we have 8 universities. Our ranking, our rank is so high, so that we are still improving ourselves, and we can now make it a core value for the state to develop. So it's a high value added educational industry. And it will be left to our friends to introduce further. And we would like to emphasize the second industry that we are now putting very great efforts in its development. It is the family office. Family office. Now, family office itself is a new term. It's quite a new term, right? It's quite new terms. But we are talking about the concept of the family office, and with regard to the business operation of the office, we will see that family office is not a new invention. It's not a new invention. Family office itself come from successful entrepreneurs, both in Hong Kong, China, Asia, and the world. And so whenever there are some highly successful entrepreneur, and they have make a great deal of wealth, and when they grow old, then there will naturally come out the requirement of wealth management. Wealth management, right? Wealth management itself simple. It's only about how you can manage your wealth in terms of assets, in terms of allocation, in terms of investment, in terms of protection, whatever. However, so if we are talking about wealth management, Hong Kong has been doing pretty well into wealth management. However, there are some families which are so successful in developing their wealth so that there's a very huge amount of assets to be allocated and managed. And at the same time, normally the founder of a successful enterprise, he will or she will develop a family, where, for example, his spouse, his son and daughters, relatives, etc. So as time goes by, then will not be only one, two, three, four members in the family. There might be quite a number of people in the family, 100 people, 80 people, whatever. So these sort of things need to be managed professionally instead of simply putting money, an amount of money into the bank and then let the banker to handle it for you. So it is the origin of the family office, origin of the family office. So family office itself basically is a kind of business. It's a kind of business success. And family office, they are relatively low profile, low profile. They're not high profile. Now, of course, you know quite very successful tycoon, successful businessmen in Hong Kong and the region. So you can name them. However, after some generation, you won't name the name of the founder, and you see some company name or some specific symbol. So representing all the inheritance coming from that founders. And now in the world, not only in Hong Kong, in China, in Asia, Europe, Middle East, there are family holding a huge amount of wealth, and they need people to handle all this kind of wealth professionally and faithfully. So they need some professional to help them. Nowadays in Hong Kong, we are successful in terms of the registered capital in Hong Kong, which is ranked number one already. And in terms of number of family office, according to the Hong Kong Family Office uh, Administration, we have now come to over 3,000 family offices set up in these few years. Very rapid pace, very high demand, and very encouraging. And coming back to hunting, what are these family office require? What kind of people they require? Normally, it's again, we say it's headhunting. They require, no, they won't require clerical services, secretarial services, no. They require very high level professional services, like chief investment officer, help them to invest in different areas. For example, property, finance, minerals, resources, etc. So the chief investment officer very professional with a global view in investment, with the experience of handling a complicated and high value added portfolio. Other positions like the operation and technique officers, technical officers, chief operating officers to help them to manage all these sort of things. Of course, we won't expect that the investment will be monitored by manual. They won't do that, and we even won't do that. It will be managed by technology. And then in different company, and they have different requirements, different countries, different regulations. So compliance and tax officers are also highly demanded. These compliance and tax officers, they should not only be familiar with local regulations, but also be familiar with the global requirements in investment in a specific area. And thirdly, and fourthly, some they call the legacy and philanthropy advisor, because some philanthropical activities, family governance, for example, etc., etc. So these four type people, they're highly demanded in Hong Kong since we have so many family office, and there will be huge demand in terms of this executive. And these people, while they are required not they are competed not only by family office, they will also be competed by our banking and finance industries. Because, for example, they have to handle some financial products like the trust products, insurance products, fund product, unit trust fund, also equities, derivatives, and the bonds, and the properties, well, etc. etc. So many, so huge the amount. So they are very short of supply, shortage of supply. Secondly, technology. Why technology is so short in supply? Because AI, AI. AI is a kind of a relatively, I would say relatively, although it has come out for several years, but relatively, AI is a new kind of perspective in doing business. So nowadays, everybody is looking for this sort of technological expertise who can handle the large model, who can manage the AI agent, who can even run the embedded AI. So all these skills and technology, wow, it will be in a very short supply, and so it is another area. Thirdly, compliance and tax officers all the time in demand. And fourthly, there's a group of philanthropy advisor, philosophical activities. This sort of thing is a very specific area. And in Hong Kong, we have some organizations called the NGO, non-government organization, specializing in similar sort of things. So they are also under competition. So now it seems that capital is not a problem in Hong Kong. And in labor market, capital is a problem. The problem is the caliber, the talent they are going to grab in to Hong Kong, let them stay here and join our locally formed or locally registered family office so that they can serve them well and they can diversify their investment and they can trigger the economic development and they can provide employment and economic prosperity by the end. It is the perspective that we are very sure and confident that in the coming 3 to 5 years at least, there will be a huge demand on that. And the hunting requirement will rise instead of fall. Some rumors saying that, well, agency business is in the sunset. Yeah, if you are agency business in a low level, sorry, you are in the sunset. But if you are in the high ending level, I can tell you it's on the sunrise. Very encouraging. And on behalf of Levin Human Resources, I would like to introduce you. I would like to welcome you to talk to us more about the prospect of all these hunting opportunities. And we're going to see you again in the coming times in the forum. Thank you very much for watching here. Thank you.